Right, so we can see if we can find Guinevere, which is surprisingly easy. And she is right here. So Guinevere is a California king snake. I have no idea on the colour morph. She's a rescue. She was well looked after previously and just given up due to a change in circumstances. She's about 4.5 foot, maybe a tiny bit shorter than that. This vivarium is 4 foot long. And you can see her head is right in this end. You've got some kinks all the way down. And she's turned around on herself there. So she's a bit of a 4 foot, probably approaching 4.5. Now, these guys... So she's about 5 years old, by the way. But they'll live to well over 20 in captivity, if we're lucky. They're a lot like corn snakes. Similar sort of length. They get to a similar thickness, although corns tend to be a slightly lighter build. They're also a bit twitchier than corns. You've got to be a little bit cautious. But she's quite sweet, really. She's a beautiful colour. She's got that slightly off yellow, or off white, yellowy type colour with the black. Oh, I almost flipped the camera there. See, she's just tasting the air and she's got that black tongue. Let's see if we can coax her out. She hasn't gone for my hands yet. The worst I've had from her is her tail rattle. Now everyone knows, like, rattlesnakes rattle their tails. But a lot of other snakes, particularly colubrids, which is what is the group that king snakes, corn snakes, hognoses, etc. belong to, will also rattle their tails. And when it hits an object, you can hear the rattle, and it's defense noise. In my experience with corns, their hiss is a bit quiet, and I haven't heard her hiss yet, so I have no idea with kings. But that's probably the reason for the rattle, I would imagine, is because they're a bit quiet. She's going to come out and have a look. She's very curious all the time. Again, much like corns, in my limited experience, corn snakes are very, very curious animals. Just moving fairly slowly, because I don't want to spook her, but she's quite handleable. We've had her out quite a bit. You can see she's backing off, because I've moved a bit now. She's by far the fastest snake we own. If I spook her, she is ridiculously quick. She might even bugger off in a minute because she doesn't like it when I'm too close or if I move too fast. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to annoy her too much, but you can see she doesn't want to be touched. Hello. Hello, bug. She just wants to see what's going on. The diurnal, which means they're active during the day, which is great, because our other snakes are crepuscular and nocturnal. And the corn snake we had previously in this enclosure, before we had her, he was also crepuscular. Crepuscular meaning they're active early morning and late evening, whereas nocturnal obviously means they're active at night. There you go, she's buggering off. She seems to quite enjoy this Viv. She really likes digging in particular, which again is very similar to a corn. They seem to really enjoy digging. This substrate is, sort of an inch deep, something like that. We've also got these are silicon vines coated in cocoa fibre. I just bought these and they are fixed. So she climbs on those quite often as well, and our corn snake previously also climbed on them, which is great. It's what we would call, can't remember the word for it, enrichment, there we go. Something that they may not do in the wild, but basically giving them as many things to do as they can, and to try and mimic natural behaviours if they so wish. But yeah, she's got fresh water. She's got multiple hides. She's got a hide in this end, which looks kind of small. To give you an example compared to the size of my hand. But she can fit her entire body in there. they compact themselves quite well. She's got a slightly bigger hide here. The skull isn't really big enough for her to hide in, but she can hide under it, and she can go through it. And then she's got a log in this end as well. Now, I'm not going to bother her to try and make her move fast, but take my word for it. This bit of log as well, she digs underneath and hides. But yeah, that's Guinevere. All our snakes are named after Arthurian figures. If you're wondering about the lights, by the way, that's an empty fitting, because I used to run a LED and a UVB bulb, but honestly it was just too bright. So now we just have the UVB, which is a Exotera bulb. They're not fantastic for UVB, but it's better than nothing, and it just saves me having to faff with a tube guard, which would be a nightmare. Snakes don't necessarily need UVB, but they can benefit from it, and I don't see any reason why you shouldn't get put in anyway. And we've got a ceramic heat emitter in this end. The ceramic is hooked up to a thermostat here. This is an iStat compact. Can't get these anymore, so I won't, won't advise you get them. The closest alternative will be a Habistat, or a microclimate, I think is the other make off the top of my head thermostat. In fact, let me just open this again. The probes are down here. You might be able to see it. That little metallic thing is actually the thermometer probe, and next to it is a plastic probe for the thermostat. You can see it disappearing now. She stopped again. Yeah, so there's a thermometer here, a digital thermometer, much better than anything analog, but they're dirt cheap. It just takes watch batteries, costs about probably less than a £5 on eBay, but it does a really good job. It tells me exactly the same temperature as where the thermostat is, and it means I can confirm the thermostat temperature, which is great. It might look a little bit low, like 27.5 is about right. You're looking at probably 28, 29 for these guys, and same for corns. 28, I would say, 28 degrees Celsius. But it'll fluctuate a bit, and when she's been in that corner where I've just moved it, it'll change a wee bit. And then I've got another one over here for her cool end. This one's close to the door, this end. So it will be a bit cooler. Much below that I'd probably be concerned, but honestly, as long as they've got a gradient and the cool end is less than 25 degrees, I'm happy. Oh, there she goes. This is like her cruising speed. She's been quite slow at the moment. All my lights are hooked up to these things, which are timers. Now, you can use timer plugs and stuff. I have a bunch of digital timer plugs kicking around that I used to use, but this is all just wired directly into the mains, which makes my life considerably easier. The thing next to it is something else entirely. It is wired in, because it's also on the timer, but it's actually for a fan. That is on the back. We had some really, really bad hot weather. When I say bad, it was just horrifically warm. It caused problems with us, our previous snake in this tank. So I'm hoping that fan, and I will rig up another one, will hopefully help avoid the issue in future by creating an airflow when I need it during the day. But yeah, there we go. Oh, she's off. Look, she's already disappeared from that corner. She's already going into the hide, just to show you how quick she is. And she'll quite often just dig and pop out at a different location, which is really cool to see. Probably just see the base of her tail there. Yeah, that is Guinevere.